Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another Walking Dead discussion topic. This is going to be my thoughts on Mary and Terminus and whether they are a trap or, what the case is with them and the location. So basically, this is from the previous episode, Us, that aired last Sunday. Check out my review for it, somewhere here, should be an annotation. So yeah. Um, There's been a lot of talk as to what Terminus and Mary and who she is and what Terminus is and whatever the thing is. Basically, in order for you to understand this discussion topic again, you have to know what us is. Check out the review if you want. Guys want to check out my opinion on it. Should be here. Um, but yeah, so there may be some spoilers in this, both from the comics and the TV show, and also another warning because this may get dark because due to the discussion topic, this may end up being a dark topic at the end. So another not spoiler warning, but a warning on that. So yeah, um, let's start off with Mary. So Mary, who's played by Denise Crosby, I believe her name is. She was apparently in one of the older Star Trek movies or TV shows, I believe. Um, Basically, her character Mary, she appears in Terminus. She basically is doing laundry, cooking some meat, mystery meat. Um, Very mysterious meat. Knowing the circumstances, and basically she turns around, asks Maggie, Glenn, Tara, Bob, Sasha, Eugene, and Rosito, how they are. If she could get them anything to eat, and she's like, "Welcome to Terminus." And yeah, she's basically had one of the strangest appearances in the Walking Dead history up to date, in my opinion. And why do I say that? Because, well, especially in season 4, we've had some pretty weird appearances of random characters. For example, Patrick. I mean, he comes out of nowhere just wanting to thank Daryl and ends up shaking his hand. That's a pretty weird appearance. And, you also have, for example, Dr. Caleb Sabramian, I believe was his name, the Indian doctor at the prison. He also comes out of nowhere just inspecting some some of the flu victims earlier on this season. So they had some pretty strange appearances and introductions. I mean, there's also the fact that we have Joe's group and they had a pretty odd introduction. I mean, they just barge into this house. I mean, almost like no warning type of thing. I mean, granted, there wouldn't be a warning, but almost like no warning type of thing. So that was almost a pretty odd appearance, and the fact that we didn't get to see them clearly at first, even was made it even a bit stranger. So we've had some pretty weird introductions throughout the season, but this one may be the weirdest one. Also due to the way that the group, Abraham and Maggie and Glenn, that whole group, basically entered Terminus, and she just turns around saying, "Oh, here's people. Let me introduce myself." Pretty odd. We also have the way she appears. She appears to be nice, motherly, sweet, but there's something off about her. There's something off about her, uh, which doesn't really sit well with me. Now, there has been some hints. People have noticed throughout previously this season that she isn't on what she seems. And one of the most popular Easter eggs or ways of foreshadowing people apparently found out was that if you remember back in Claimed, there's this one painting with some female having her eyes lashed out, crossed out, and many people after us connected that painting, the lady in the painting is apparently Mary. Uh, and I'm like, yeah, she does have some striking resemblance to Mary, which is true, which is true. Uh, Very striking similarities in the way her hair was, and everything, just odd and weird. And you also have the fact that her eyes were lashed out, and then there's like blood coming out from her mouth. So that was also weird. So you do have some kind of foreshadowing that she doesn't appear at all as what she says to be, what she seems to be. Like looks can be deceiving. I mean, you also have the fact that the eye that was lashed out is the same side of the eye, is the same side that the governor had his eye taken out, if that makes sense. So I do there is some kind of evil, not evil, but this, I guess, evil atmosphere, devilish atmosphere around her that people have instantly been trying to get. Now, I do believe there is something off about her. Whether she's a cannibal, like most people say to be, due to the time that we're in. Because in the comics, right after the prison attack, the next villain would be the cannibals, the hunters. Basically, a group of cannibals who go out and hunt on people, small groups of people, and take their supplies and then eat them. That's it. So I'm not gonna say she's exactly a cannibal, but there is some point in that she may be a cannibal. Well, not a cannibal, but she, there's something off about her. I mean, you do have the fact that Beth, which I did a discussion topic on, who kidnapped Beth. Check it out here. It should be somewhere here. And there was the fact that Beth had been kidnapped earlier this season, and many people assume this Gareth character who's to come. Now, Gareth is supposed to be in Terminus, which I understand, especially due to timing, and he's supposed to appear in Season 4. We only really have one episode left in Season 4. It should be coming up in Terminus. But, she could be an accomplice, or she could have kidnapped Beth. Leading up to the meat on the grill, that could be anything. That could be fish, that could be cow, that could be pork, that could be Beth. We don't know. BBQ Beth. Yes, I said that. BBQ Beth. We don't know what the hell the deal is. But there is something devilish and not so sweet about her, even if she is supposed to represent sweet, motherly kind. So, she doesn't seem all what it seems. Now, on Terminus, on the other hand, that also looks to be deceiving. I don't think that it's safe, the safe house everybody's supposed to think it is. Mostly because here, I mean, there's like three gates there. All of them were unlocked. Anyone or anything could just go in and attack. Also, there seems to be it seems to be devoid of human life. I mean, there's a lot of plants, so it is active in life. Seems to be it seems to be devoid of human life. I mean, you only really have I mean, from what I could gather up from common sense and the episodes and more episode and like trailers, sneak peeks and international trailers, there seems to be at least three people, excluding Glenn's group. There seems to be three people already in Terminus. You have Mary, you have Gareth, and a third person who has been seen apparently shooting or sniping or whatever the case is at a random survivor. So there's at least three people. So yeah, three people to actually pull off this whole scheme. I don't really think so. So I mean, no matter how smart they are. I mean, also, this is also how I see Terminus. I mean, again, as I said before, mentioned before, you have three gates. They're all unlocked, and there seems to be no warning of life besides Mary. That there may be something hostile inside. Really, the closest thing you have to any type of guard, besides the third person, mysterious person in the trailer. But in us, the only type of guard there seems to be in this Terminus is a sign that says, "Put your weapons down, or you will be met by force," which is the sign they saw when they entered. I mean, there was no guards. I mean, there wasn't even a walker or walker body on the floor. Hell, there wasn't even blood on the floor. And when there's not even blood on the floor, there's something weird. Because, you'd have to imagine, even Woodbury had blood on the floor. The outsides and the outskirts. Even Woodbury had blood on the floor. Um, so yeah. So, it is something also kind of off about Terminus. Due to the fact that it has like no guards, that has like that has like has no guards. There's like no walker bodies, not even blood on the floor. There is something suspicious about it, and in my opinion, there seems to be too many plants. I mean, not that there's nothing wrong with having a place with too many plants, but why the multitude of plants? I don't know, and I really don't care. Could that be devilish? I don't really think so. Maybe they just want to have the place a bit pretty. But having a place pretty, most of our plants are flowers, especially in the outside. So there is something kind of off about that too. I mean, they want it to look like a safe house. Nobody's died. It looks all nice. It kind of does look nice, a little too nice, which it appears that nobody's noticed. But granted, we only saw Terminus for maybe 2 minutes, and then end of episode. So eventually, I do think that people will notice that this is a trap. Um, yeah, it's just too good to be true in my opinion. I mean, even Woodbury was taken down, and that place. Oh, look, even Woodbury was taken down, and that place to me looks nicer than this place, and seemed a bit more convincing that may be a safe house. So I don't think that this place will be up very long, but I do think there is something devilish. Could it be a trap? Maybe. I think there is a likely possibility that this may be a trap. Um, yeah. I really don't see any other way around it. It just seems like a trap to me. I mean, the meat again, as I said, I honestly think it's BBQ Beth at this point. It's I really don't see any other option. You could say that this isn't a trap, but what evidence are you gonna back it up with? With all that's going on, this place is looking way too nice. Someone's got to say this is a trap. This is how I see it. Eugene will eventually add two and two together, say bullshit, BS. Let's get the fuck out. Let's go up to DC like now. Um, and yeah, because he is the smartest guy. I'm pretty sure he'd be able to figure it out faster. And yeah, also, and this place is strange. You have the also you have like too many maps. Like if you notice out in the outs, if you noticed in the previous episode, you had the maps leading up to Terminus, the maps, the signs. There just seem too many for just three people to have set this up. Pretty sure there were many people before this who were actually taking in survivors. Eventually they ran out of food and well, with cannibals, you could add two and two together. I'm pretty sure a group of cannibals wouldn't have too many people in their group. It's common sense. Do I really have to explain? Well, yeah. So I think that eventually they did just leave the signs up, so they could get food. Now, yeah, they could have also put it up, just lure in people for the to have their cannibalistic ways, but that'd be dark. So yeah, I really see no other way to see it. I do want to know though if this terminus is somehow connected to the graveyard incident. With Beth, the incident with her. That'd be pretty interesting to see. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But yeah, that'd be interesting to see at the end too. Terminus. Is it a trap, basically? Basically, this is how I say it. Mary is the cheese, and Terminus is the mouse trap. It's a trap. You could argue that it isn't a trap, but really, with what evidence are you gonna say? Just like no evidence in saying that this isn't a trap. Also, this is really much more going more into deep end. This is really just, I guess, nitpicking at this point, but terminus in Latin does mean end of the line, the end of the line, stop, that. So, yeah. It could be end of the line for any survivor who enters terminus because, they'll die being eaten alive. It could also mean, end of the line for the season and, well, end of the line for the train tracks, I guess, because the train tracks leading up to it. End of the line for that. That's really more nitpicking. Taking more deeper look into it. It's quick fun fact there. Does the name actually mean anything? Possibly. End of the line. You're all gonna die. Let me just eat you. For example, Beth, the BBQ Beth. Um, yeah, basically, as I said before, Mary is the cheese, Terminus is the mousetrap, and that's definitely a trap. I'm not gonna say it is for the hunters, but basically, there's gonna be a group of antagonist survivors with at least 3 people in their group, and they're antagonists, so they're not nice. And that's basically all I have to say for it. For 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 Terminus and Mary, my opinion. Mary, she looks sweet and motherly in the outside, but in the inside, she just really wants to eat you. She's hungry, and yeah, that's basically it on my thoughts on Terminus. So, what are your thoughts on Terminus? Comment down below on your thoughts on Terminus and Mary. Do you think Terminus and Mary are, are dangerous, or do you think they're not? They're safe, and what are your reasons? Comment down below on your thoughts on that. Remember to subscribe. I also do other Walking Dead discussion topic videos. I also do other Walking Dead reviews, such as in the comics and the TV shows. I review both of them. I also review movies, other TV shows, and other comics. So definitely stay tuned for that. For that. Besides that, remember to subscribe. Comment below, share on Facebook, Twitter, or MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.